Hey guys, welcome back to Property Auction Hunters. This is Piotr, and we bring you here the best tips and insights into the property auction world. Today we're going to be covering how to use the Essential Information Group, which is known as EIG, which is the portal, the go-to portal for all the auction listings in the UK. So whether you are a seasoned investor or whether you're a newcomer, this tool is an absolute game changer. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how we use EIG, how you can use EIG, including finding those elusive short lease flats deals using this platform. So we have a special invitation for you as well at the end of the video to try out the EIG platform for free and get one-to-one hand-holding with someone from EIG to show you how to use it. So let's stay with us till the end and let's dive into the details. Okay, so let's start with what is EIG. So EIG has been around for over 30 years and it provides complete information on virtually on all property auctions for over 30 years. And that's a huge database of properties. I think that makes up approximately 1 million properties in the whole database. And so we have been subscribers for over 10 years, and we find it extremely valuable for the reasons that I will reveal in later on the video. But this is the view that you get as a subscriber, so you need to be logged in and subscribed. Basically, you get access to all kind of properties and all kind of tools as a subscriber. If you're not a subscriber, you can still access the website. You can still see some of the auction dates and things like this. You can watch auctions that are live streamed on the day. However, the functionalities are very limited, so it basically required to be a subscriber. At the end of this video, we'll explain to you how you can get a free trial with EIG and really check what the platform is all about and how it can work for you. So let's move on to the next step.
This video is sponsored by Roma Finance, a provider of short-term lending for auction and development purchases. They have a patented streamlined application process called Roma Flow, making your applications quicker and simpler. And Roma Finance operates a borrower-first mentality where they underwrite the borrower before the deal so they may be able to lend where others cannot. If you have a deal that needs funding, please click on the link in the description and complete the inquiry form on Roma Finance's website.
Okay, so when we logged in, we can do a lot of things here. We can have access to My EIG, which is basically a place where you have you can create portfolios of properties, and you can also create short lists for to keep track of the properties that you're interested in. So that's usually very useful when you look through a lot of properties and you want to keep track of things in one place. Same thing you can do is a search for auctions. That's basically one of the most useful tools, and you go for future auctions. And basically here there are two things that are very important. You can search for select the region. So for example, if you're interested in London, you look for London. And then there are two buttons here. You can see auctions that are taking place in the region you selected, or you can see auctions that have lots that are in the selected region, but those auctions might be somewhere else. So when you click on this, then you can see way more auctions, because you will see low auctions from outside of London. So here you can see properties that have lots in the selected region, which is London, but they're based somewhere else. For example, Landwood is based in Manchester and they have some properties now offered in London. So this is a useful feature, because in here you can basically find properties that might be misplaced, might be mismarketed, and those could be good opportunities to jump on and basically do a research and see if there's a deal to be done. Now the next option you can have here is the recent auctions. Basically this shows you the results and also what types of properties went unsold. So when you click on Barney auctions, you can see that there's a lot of withdrawn, a lot of sold prior, a lot of unsold lots, and basically there might be opportunities to make offers on those properties, and usually the results are revealed either on the same day of the auction or the day after the auction, so the information is really fresh. Also here you got auction results. That's for auctioneers over the years. You can check basically all the results for this auctioneer since 2008, robust data. You can also have a shortcut to all unsold lots from all auctioneers. You can filter for what you're looking for, but these are the most recent unsold lots where it might be possible to make offers, might be possible to do some deals post auctions, because at the end of the day the sellers came to an auction because they were motivated. Now the property didn't sell, so they might be even more motivated to do a deal post auction than they were at the start. So it's a very worthwhile feature. Okay, so now I'd like to show you the detailed search feature that you can find here. And over here you can start looking for properties, starting with the location. So you can search by address, search by radius within a mile, half a mile, 2 miles, 5 miles from the postcode that you choose. And the postcode can be specific or it can be general. For example, if you're looking for something around Ilford, you can put IG1 star, and then it will show you everything within the radius from IG1 instead of an exact postcode. And you can do the same things with address. You can use some advanced options for searching. For example, if you know the road was Acacia and you don't know whether it was street or a road, then you can put Acacia and then star, and then it will show you anything with this word in the address. So some of the features are very useful and advanced, and you can find properties with various different ways. So you can also search by region, within M25, outside M25, or by area, and you can also draw a map, which can be useful if you have a very specific area in mind. For example, anything around Harrogate, you search and you draw, and you can search within this area. But we'll look for things within M25. Now you can search by tenure, freehold, leasehold, tenancy, vacant, part vacant, investment, also residential, commercial. So basically let's look for some freehold, investment, commercials without residential element, with future auctions only available. Because we want to buy it, we can choose auctioneers, price range. Actually, price range might be interesting. Let's choose between 150,000 and 450,000. And then you can also search for quite specific things like yields, income, vendors, tenants. None of those, like the more details you put in this search, the less properties will come up. So sometimes it's good to put things in a general kind of way and then see how many properties are going to come up, and then filter through them kind of manually by looking at them. So we'll keep this as it is, and you can also save the search as something which we're not going to do right now, but let's search for some commercial properties between 150 and 450 inside M25. Boom. So over here we've got a whole list of properties. So as you can see, there are a lot of properties here, and you will notice that there's a bar with information. So maybe we can check information on those properties. Number one, you'll see there's a PDF kind of document thing. When you click on this, you will get a catalog entry for this property in PDF format. And that's mostly available for auctioneers who use EIG to produce catalogs. Some auctions like Savills, they use their own systems, so you won't see the PDF right now. The next thing is a location. When you click on this, it will take you straight to a Google Maps location of this property. So let's do that. As you can see, it takes you straight here. You can do street view. Look around the property, see what's available, see if this is anything that you might be remotely interested. And I find this feature very useful because in the past you could just type the postcode or the address in Google search and you would get to Google Maps very quickly. But right now, I think Google got in trouble with this, and they can't redirect you straight from the Google search to Google Maps. You really have to kind of go through a few steps to get to that location. So I find it super useful that one click of the button, you can go straight from EIG to Google Maps, an exact location, without having to type a lot of things. The next button here, it's probably the most used feature for us on EIG. So when you click on this, you will see a whole street history on the street. So basically, if in the past, if there were properties offered in this industrial estate, you would see them in this thing. It basically seems like this property is being offered for the first time in the auction, so there's not much information on it. However, if we go to some other properties, let's say this one. So now, as you can see, so this property seems like it was offered in the past about a year ago, also an auction. It's a virtual freehold gym, and it was offered in the past with income of 47,600. Now the income is 11,450. So something has gone slightly wrong there, and basically having access to this historical information gives you much more of a balanced view of whether you want to spend time on this property, whether you want to spend extra resources researching this. I think what you can see here is very useful. You can, by having this information, what I would do is go to also commercial website, go to the past auctions, and go to access this catalog page for the 6th of July 2023 auction, and see what the lease details were there with this provider, and see how this is different from right now, and why there's only 1/4 of the income that was there in the past. Is there a possibility to increase that income? Basically, by having access to this street history feature, you get information about past history of properties that might influence how you would make decisions and how much time and effort you would put into the property. Okay, the other things that you can see here, you can access similar properties within this area. I won't be clicking on this, but it's a useful feature. I will show you other commercial properties that are in there. You can find legal parks. You can add this property to your shortlist, and now it will be in the shortlist, so we can keep track of it. Can basically see past property prices in this postcode. So as you can see, it goes straight into English House Prices website. This takes information from Land Registry and shows it in a very nice kind of way that's very clear. So you can see that in the past, about 4 years ago, there was a sale of a similar leasehold industrial unit which sold for 260k. Some other units sold for 200, 185. So that gives you a little bit of an indication of what to expect to pay for this commercial unit in the industrial estate. And it's a very useful tool. Again, one click of a button, you take into a page where you get access to comparable information. And this is so important, especially with properties that appear very cheap. If they appear very cheap and then you click that button, go to English House Prices, you will see how likely it is to get that property for anywhere near the guide price. And I find this tool very, very useful, and it saves a lot of time. So make sure you check those comparables. Okay, the next thing is adding property to the portfolio. So you can add it to your July 2020 portfolio. You can call this Auction Hunters Review with a note, submit, and it's inside your portfolio. Now you can keep track of it later on. So that's super useful. You can email the auctioneers or contact auctioneers. So basically, those are the most useful features on the EIG website. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to search for short lease flats using EIG. Shortlist flats are a bit of a trendy thing right now because of the changes to leasehold and freehold reform act, and I'm going to show you how to find those things using the search on EIG. So first of all, let's choose a region. Let's find things inside M25. Let's go for leasehold properties, all type of tenancies, no commercial element, flats, and future auctions. We're only interested in future auctions. Let's do all sales status and price range. Let's keep that open. Tenancy information, this is the important bit. We're gonna choose unexpired years on the lease up to 80 years, and any vendor. If you want to save this search, you can just type lease short lease residential, and you can save it for later. Save and search, and now we get information on the properties that are available that have a short lease. For example, this one, as you can see, 99 years from 1971, so there's approximately 46 years left on this lease, which makes an interesting purchase. We don't know the guide price, but you can go to auctions and find out exactly, and maybe get in touch with them. There are properties in Hayes, again 99 years from 1979, so approximately 55 years left on that lease. It's a very useful tool to find those short lease flats. So when you save this search, you will then get an automatic auction alert with the properties that got added that hit your search criteria. And I think that's a super useful thing, because it's very easy to miss properties when they just come onto the auction and you don't really follow the catalogs. It's impossible to follow all the different auctions and all the different catalogs. So having an auction search, absolutely fantastic. Okay, brilliant, guys. So just to summarize everything, I think that EIG is totally indispensable for serious property investors, and it helps you find auction properties. It helps you conduct thorough research and also access historical information. And those things are totally irreplaceable when it comes to a very time-sensitive environment like property auctions. And in those kind of environments, you need to be able to make very quick, informed decisions, and having things at the touch of your finger, it's really irreplaceable. This portal might seem a little bit pricey for casual property investors, for someone who's not maybe that serious about buying things in the auctions, and if you're that kind of person, maybe this portal is not for you. However, we still invite you to take advantage of the free trial and basically see what the portal might offer you, and also get some support from the EIG staff on how to use the platform to most benefit you. But if you're a serious property investor looking to buy at least one property a year from the auction, this portal is a must. It will save you time, it will save you the hassle, and it's basically will pay for itself with just one purchase for sure. And what we think about EIG is that it does smooth the whole buying and selling process for everyone and helps people make informed choices. And those two things mean that the market becomes more fluid and more efficient, and it benefits everyone. Benefits buyers, benefits sellers, benefits traders, benefits auctioneers. It makes people have less buyer's remorse. And one thing that EIG doesn't replace is common sense. It will give you information, it will give you data, but you still need to approach things with some common sense, and you need to read the legal packs, make sure you appoint solicitors before you bid, make sure you do proper research before you bid, because even having EIG on your site without common sense won't help you. So make sure you take advantage of the free trial. And also another thing is that we are publishing our new version of the book about property auctions before the hammer falls. It will be released in approximately September. So EIG will provide a copy of the book in the post for every person who took out a free trial of their service, to ensure that you use that common sense, you use that methodologies of buying and selling, along with the data from EIG in a very coherent manner. So make sure you get this free trial, and you get on the list to receive a free copy of our book in approximately September time. So thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed these videos, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button below. And also, if you want to watch videos about some shortlist flats, make sure you check out this one where we reviewed 2 shortlist flats that were offered in the auction and with amazing guests. Make sure you check out this video. See you in the next episode.